This week, a Weymouth woman scammed out of what's looking like over $30,000. Here to explain a little bit about that is the Norfolk Sheriff, Patrick McDermott. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning, Christine, and I hate to be the bearer of these kind of bad news. It's always disheartening when somebody calls up and comes forward being scammed, and I just want to make sure, and I've said this before to your audience and many audiences right off the top, that no one from a sheriff's office or a police department is going to ever make calls demanding money from people for things like missed jury duty or an outstanding warrant. It just doesn't happen that way. And we've had 3 recent cases where victims have lost large chunks of their savings to these scammers. On Tuesday, a Weymouth woman called our office to continue a conversation she was having over the last 2 days about a warrant with a lieutenant who claimed to work for our office. And when we informed her that she was being scammed, she rightfully broke down and said she had already sent 4 payments by a wire transfer and Apple Pay to the scammer, totaling a total of $31,000. We've had 2 other women from Dedham and Sharon reported losing combined $6,700 in separate missed jury duty incidents this week. And, you know, the bottom line is, and we feel devastated by this, but whenever you receive a call like that, especially when they're asking for some kind of payment immediately, just hang up. It's very difficult to trace these calls. We always want to report it to the local police or the sheriff's office so that we can at least track it as best as we can. But these are scams, and we just need, the best thing that we can do is alert the public. And I thank WATD for helping us out with that.
Oh, absolutely. And I feel so bad for these people, especially that she seemed very upset and got, sent this, via wire transfer and Apple Pay. That's just awful, over $31,000. I wanted to ask you something else, though. I know about, we're hearing, local food pantries facing increased demand, but your group has teamed up with a local church pastor. Tell us how that's working.
So our local, one of our pastors at the jail, Pastor Jim Butler, amazing guy. He's been a Protestant chaplain at our correctional facility for the last 20 years and calls it a highlight of his 40-year ministry. He's also a pastor at St. Luke's in Dedham, but he's also an avid runner. And so Pastor Butler belongs to a group called the Randolph Runners. And this past Saturday, his running group held the 6th annual Pack the Pantry 5K to benefit the Friendly Food Pantry of Randolph. Real amazing success, especially under these circumstances, with SNAP benefits in peril. Food pantries are getting more and more people needing them. Luckily, this race had 300 runners, double of what they've had before. Walkers who kind of signed up at the last minute. Most brought food items to the race for distribution. We've had several members of our organization take part in this 5K, and I was blessed with being able to sing the national anthem before the race stepped off. But I want to thank everybody in the public for constantly stepping up, not just for the Randolph Food Pantry, but for food pantries across the Commonwealth. People are in really dire need these days, and we want to make sure that they have the food needed to survive this storm.
Absolutely. We appreciate you joining us this morning. Again, that is the Norfolk Sheriff, Patrick McDermott. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Christine.
Thank you.